This is AEW 360 Live at Advertising Week, New York. I'm BJ Smith. I have with me Kevin Lyons of Nielsen Marketing Cloud. Welcome.
Welcome, pleasure to meet you.
Good to see you. So you were the SVP of Data Science at Nielsen.
Correct. I was the very first analyst to be hired by the company X-Late, which was later acquired by Nielsen and rebranded the Nielsen Marketing Cloud about 6.5 years ago now.
Okay.
So was one of the earlier employees, say sub 20, of what was then a really amazing brand new startup just trying to make its way in digital media.
So you guys had a fairly new product fully launched at Q1 this year, the Nielsen AI.
Yes, it's a product that we like you said, we launched it in Q1 of this year. We have a number of clients that are live on it. We actually conceived it back in 2012 based on a single academic article that we read. And so all of this is based on like a 5-page article. And essentially we've spent the last 4 years in doing constant in-depth development with a full team of machine learning engineers. And we're still working on it because there's always room for improvement.
Sure.
But it's we're definitely in right now, version 2.0.
So AI, artificial intelligence, has actually been a huge topic this year. And it's every year we have new topics that seem to be the sticking point. 2 years ago, it was programmatic. Last year, we were talking about pop-ups and fraud. This year, we're talking about AI. So what makes the Nielsen AI different? And
Sure.
How do you define AI?
Sure. So it seems like everybody this year and their mother is calling anything that involves statistics artificial intelligence.
Okay.
And they're rebranding stuff that was not called artificial intelligence 20 years ago as artificial intelligence. And to my mind, to an extent, the name has been, it's almost devoid of value at this point because it's a marketing buzzword. I think what we have here truly is artificial intelligence, and to make that clear why, I want to start with a little history lesson, very quick, and then explain how I consider AI. I mean, machine learning essentially is the brain of artificial intelligence, and machine learning was first conceived in 1959. I was doing something called stepwise forward logistic regression in the 80s, random forests and decision trees. All these have been around for a while, and they all qualify as machine learning, so technically they're artificial intelligence. But for me, artificial intelligence means something new nowadays. I like to call it either adaptability, or what you often hear is referred to as extreme generalization. And what do I mean by that? I like to give an analogy.
Okay.
Try to make it quick. I know we have like 10 minutes.
No, you're fine.
So imagine you have a pharmacy. We'll use a pharmacy. And imagine it's an advanced pharmacy, and they actually have an automated robot that restocks the shelves.
Yes.
So this robot, maybe even you might use the image recognition to be able to scan the shelves. But essentially it knows that my task is to rescan the shelves. Well, it knows, it's been programmed to know that, say, a brand, I don't know if I'm allowed to say a brand, but a brand sits right here.
Right.
And there may be 4 different types of products that brand has, and product A is here, product B, product C, product D. And it knows in the back room exactly where to find those. So it says, okay, I don't have enough on the shelf. I go to the back room, I pick it up from an exact location, I bring it outside, I put it on the shelf in an exact location. You can really mess with that automation by moving the shelves around. Right. Pharmacies love to do this. We all hate when they do it. And what do human beings do when they move your toothpaste?
Right.
You're like walking up and down the aisles going, where is my toothpaste?
Yeah.
And you finally figure it out. Why? Because we're adaptable to new situations. An automated non-artificial intelligence computer would be like, I don't know what to do.
It's supposed to be here, why isn't it here?
Or they move it, exactly.
We're done. We're stopping.
Or in the background, in the storage room, they change the location, or they change the color. They just change something. It's stuck. An artificially intelligent computer would do what human beings do. It would go, okay, I can go up and look down the aisles. It's now green. But I can read the words, and it says the same product, and I go back to the storeroom, and it's moved, but I can figure out where it is. Another example that's very common is if you take like that's out there, a 9-year-old, or say even a 7-year-old who grew up in New York City, if you put them in Paris, they'll kind of know what a grocery store is. They'll sort of make sense of it. A computer can't. What we have created is an adaptable, generalizable solution. And the way we've done that is we've implemented something called online learning. And online learning learns against the very stream of events in real time. Okay. Most models are batch. Batches, you have a production system, you take the data out, you put it in a database here, you build the model, and then you put maybe real-time scoring into the production system, and it scores in real time, but if the world changes around it, that model isn't changing because it was made over here, offline, and until you take the data out again, build it over here again, and move it back here, it's still offline. It can't adapt. Okay. Our system, our learning, not just scoring, but our learning happens in the production system in real time. And when I mean real time, I mean our models update within 200 milliseconds after an event occurs. And we're viewing a stream of about 5 terabytes of data every hour.
Wow.
So we have this massive stream of data going through our system, which the models are learning from as it happens. And as the world changes, as market conditions changes, as consumer behavior changes, as outside marketing activity changes, it just picks it up. Sorry, I can keep going. But
no, actually that was going to be my question. So what sort of events are we specifically looking at? Because, there's one, everybody wanted to be real time when it came to social media a while back. Oreo, everybody knows about it, right? The blackout in the Super Bowl that we are not supposed to say. So there's real time there. There's, like you said, market changes. We don't know when something's going to happen in politics here, overseas. Are these the types of factors that you're looking at?
So we can look at a whole, first of all, unlike a normal traditional model where you build it offline, if you then see a new data type coming through the production system, it ignores it because it wasn't trained on it.
Right, yeah.
With our system, it doesn't care if data disappears or appears, it'll automatically start using it and adapt to it. So there's no limit to the data it can use or the data types it can use. So as new data starts flowing through the system from any source, it'll just automatically start using it. But types of examples, real examples that we've used are things like a batch model built on the night before Cyber Monday isn't really great for Cyber Monday because Cyber Monday is fundamentally different than the day before. Now, Cyber Monday seems to be starting 3 weeks at a time, but these days, we'll leave that for a second. Our system, and we've seen this, our system can start learning literally on the East Coast as Cyber Monday behavior is changing, so that by the time the West Coast gets online, the models are literally different. Because what's happening is people are fundamentally, different shoppers are shopping for products that would not have done it before. So it's what is consumer behavior, who is shopping at that very moment, what our market, another example is, we've been testing this for quite some time. When you remember, I think it was last year when Greece was downgraded?
Yes.
Totally adapted to that. It saw it, response rates just started falling to the models, and then you could actually see the response rates going back up as it's like, okay, something's weird here, we have to adapt. That was for an investing company.
Well, this is really exciting, Kevin. I really appreciate you spending the time with us and talking about this new AI. And your definition of it is really interesting. So cool. Thank you so much for the insights.
Cool.
We'll be back with more AW360 Live at Advertising Week New York.